Okay, guys, we are live. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this live stream. This was something that was really close to my heart, but I didn't really have the guts to talk about it. So thank you so much, Breaking the Chains, for being here. Before we do get right into topic, I know that some people are probably going to watch this on the playback, so do you mind just introducing yourself and a little bit about your channel and also a little bit about yourself as well?
Okay. My name is Bequita. I am originally from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I went to university at Georgia State University in Atlanta. I spent the most of my adult life in Atlanta. 2011, I went to Ghana for the first time, got married, did the whole, I saw like 5 regions of Ghana. Well, before it turned into 16 regions. While it was 10 regions, I saw 5 regions on my first trip. That was like a 15-day trip. And I was able to cram like everything that I could into those 15 days. And I fell in love with the place like almost immediately. I knew it would be a place that I would return to live eventually, but I didn't think it would be so quick. 2012 turned around, Trayvon Martin's verdict came back, and I decided I didn't want to raise my family in America anymore, and we needed to start planning our exit. We left initially in 2014, May of 2014, moved to Ghana with myself, my husband, my mother. My oldest daughter was 12 at the time, and I had a 6-month-old baby. And I've been on this journey to repatriation like ever since. I ended up creating my channel because as I was in my journey, I was meeting a lot of people who had so many questions about me living in Ghana and what that looked like. And as I began doing a whole lot of different things and meeting a whole lot of other repatriates, I was like, well, maybe it'll be a good idea for me to start documenting this. So I created my channel, and I pretty much interview people who have made the move already. And it's not in just Ghana, but people who live all over the continent. And yeah, and then I share my personal stories and all that stuff on there. That's everything in a nutshell, I think.
Okay, interesting. I wanted to ask you a question though. Before you got the whole going to Ghana thing, do you have any reasons why you specifically chose Ghana?
Well, Ghana is considered like the gateway to Africa. Like, so most of us, most of the time, the first trip to Africa is usually through Ghana. And then, Ghana is, you never hear of a lot of civil discourse or unrest in Ghana. Everybody seems to be pretty chill in Ghana, so it feels like the easiest route to take. And most people always talk about how the connection they feel when they go to Ghana. So that was another one of the reasons that Ghana felt good. But more than anything, my husband, I met my husband in Ghana, so. Okay. That was the main reason that I came to Ghana in the first place. And then of course I fell in love with the place. I think I fell more in love with the place than I did with the man, and then I fell more in love with the man as I fell in love with the place. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I really did like your channel, and I liked a lot that you were talking on the channel. What I also appreciated about your channel as well is that you're someone who's realistic. Mm-hmm. Like, you weren't somebody who would just talk about the positives of Ghana, but you really seem to know what's going on in there.
Yeah.
And I really do appreciate that. And that's definitely one of the reasons why I also wanted to have a heart to heart with you, because sometimes when I try to speak to some people about this, they act, and kind of gearing in towards the topic of the title, they act like the luxurious life that they're seeing there is the luxurious life that everyone is living there. And I just want to remind you guys, like, Ghana's doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The average Ghanaian is not doing that great. Like, they're happy, but they're not going to hotels like that. You know, they're
Yeah.
not able to really live that life. And I see a lot of that. So then when I try to speak to especially people who've never been there before about that, they go like, "Oh, are you sure? But it's ranked as this, that, and this, that." And I'm like, yeah.
You know, I think what happens is a lot of times we kind of fantasize about what Africa is in itself. I've lived in Guinea also, and if I compare the two would be, I would be doing Ghana a disservice, because Ghana is, when you put them, when I line them up side by side, Ghana is much more further in its development than Guinea is. So it would be more of a draw for people to come to Ghana than Guinea. And of course, you know, when people come, they're visiting, so they're seeing, especially, you know, a lot of people are traveling during this time of year. So December is going to be popping and everybody going to get to see, because everybody's in town, everybody's flexing and all of that stuff or whatever. So we tend to believe that is, or people tend to depict that as the life in Ghana, and it's not necessarily the case for everybody. Now, to be fair, there are a lot of people in Ghana who do live that lifestyle.
Yeah.
But the majority of the population don't. It's very much, to me, it's very much like being in the US, where the overwhelming majority of the population here in the US is not doing well. Everybody living from paycheck to paycheck. You know what I'm saying? So if not less than that, and at this point, we had, in the last few months, we've had over 33 million people lose their job. So ain't nobody really balling. But we do have, I do think we do a little bit of a disservice to Ghana when we don't tell the whole truth, you know. And that's what I try to do on my channel, is give some balance to what it could be like for the average Black American coming from America. I think that there's not being a good balanced picture being given about what it's like, because I know people who live really, really well in Ghana, like really well, and I know people who just getting by, and they're from here. So it's not, for whatever reason, some people put on like everybody just balling out of control in Ghana, when that's not the case.
No, I think it's true. I think that recently there's been a push to really show the really positives that you could have over there. But I'm also trying to let some people know that there's a difference between being on a holiday and actually living there.
Mm-hmm.
And living there is a completely different story. And if you want to ball out and do all that, you just have to understand that you're going to be balling out with celebrities who are not looking twice, or people who have businesses that are established and they're not really worried, and you might kind of get lost in the sauce. And I've heard about some people recently getting lost in the sauce, and it's kind of sad. But I mean, I guess in changing the narrative of Africa, we definitely have to always let people know that you could have a middle class lifestyle, luxurious, and then also pretty simple lifestyle as well. Now I wanted to ask you this. I've been hearing some people complain about the year return. And I mean, okay, so when I asked one person, they said that the biggest complaint that they had from it was that the president, basically, he was saying it like, okay, you guys could come back and then we could work on your citizenships. And basically they were saying that he was talking as if everything was going to happen like immediately or pretty quickly.
I don't think he said anything like that, but okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and I was just kind of like, the whole essence of it was a call to come back. Mm-hmm. And many people did that. And I honestly think it was really successful. You had some people that, okay, well, the country made 1.9 billion. And I'm like, that's a country. That's not a person. Like,
not even
not a lot of money.
When you look at the grand scheme of things for a country, that's not a lot of money.
It isn't. And
you have to think about the fact that where the spike happened was on the ground level. So of course you had people in markets and who sold different things. They saw people who have guest houses or whatever. Of course, they saw the biggest probably spike in business they've ever seen last year. But that should be expected. I think that Nana's approach to it, I don't even think he expected it to. Well, I know he said that he didn't even expect it to be that successful. It was kind of like, okay, well, we'll try this and see, because we are at the 400-year mark. Let's commemorate it by doing this. And to me, the after effect is what we should be paying attention to, because I don't even think that it's like, okay, well, let's just see what happened. And they put a couple $1 million in, and the advertising was really good. We got a really good push from it. We got a lot of people to come to Ghana that probably would have never even came. I thought the marketing was really good. I thought it was great for tourism in Ghana. But I also think that if people understood the history of Ghana, you would understand why this was done this way. Like Kwame Nkrumah didn't feel like tourism was a big thing to push. He was more concerned with getting Ghana to the next level. And then we can be concerned with tourism. So I think now is a time where focusing on tourism would help bring more money into the country. But if we keep it real, the year of return didn't do that much for the economy on a grand scheme of things type of thing.
Yeah.
It ain't, come on, let's just be for real. And it was great. Now, don't get me wrong. It was great publicity because you had all of these celebrities from here who have really big followings who were documenting their experience in Ghana. But it also kind of did a little disservice because, of course, they're seeing things on the high-end level.
Yeah.
And they're living on a high-end level. So I think it could get lost, like you said, get lost in the sauce. If you just look at that. But overall, I felt like the year of return did exactly what it should have done. And that was to get people interested in coming to Ghana. There was already conversations about citizenship going on for years. We've been having this conversation.
Not to cut you off, but absolutely. This whole repatriation thing has happened since the 60s. Rastafarians, the country knows who Rastafarians are, because ever since Haile Selassie died, they were like, we're all going back home. So
exactly.
it's been happening for a while.
And if you look at my channel, I have way back in the very beginning of my channel, I did a history of repatriation. And repatriation has been going on for so long. Like, we didn't just start doing this. We've been doing this for a long time. It's just like chunks of time where it'll be a lot of people doing it at one time or trying to do it. But then when you learn what comes along with it, see, a lot of people don't know what go along with this and how it gets stifled, because there are things that happen to stifle these movements, and we end up back at square one.
Absolutely. And even just to talk about what you said in terms of the year return, I see it in two ways. I see it in terms of who actually made the money. You did have some of the shop owners who made money, but if you really look at who made the money, it was the hotels.
Definitely.
So it was definitely, I hate to say this, but I think it was definitely the elite that already made a lot of money, but then the elite are the ones who invested into it anyways. So it was just the return of whatever they put in. I honestly think that it was even beyond Ghana for me. I feel like it was a return there, and then you could check out other places as well. I feel like this also catered into people are now thinking about, oh, when's Nigeria gonna do it? When's this country gonna do it? When that country gonna do it? So I feel like that initiative as well is something that a lot of people don't look at. So when I just hear people say, oh, well, it was a scam, we didn't get anything, I'm just like, thank you so much for like, people really don't know the history of Ghana. Like, Ghana has, they have the Black Star.
Right.
Ghana has, I talked about this before, Ghana's relationship even with Marcus Garvey, it goes really deep.
You know, and if we want to get, if you really want to go there, the truth of the matter is Kwame Nkrumah got his Pan-African idealism from going to Lincoln University here, and he went to a HBCU here in America and returned back to Ghana to go and become the president. So we have to take everything in context and understand that Ghana has a long relationship with the African American community here with the African community here in America. Those of us who were born here, we have a long relationship. There was a whole ceremony and everything between 92 and 94 in Jamestown, Accra, where they gave us a whole like tribe. Like, there was all of the ceremonies and all of the traditional, the whole National House of Chiefs was there. Everybody was there for this ceremony to pretty much give us a tribe and give us what it is that we need to reintegrate back into the continent. And that was done. I mean, I was 12 years old when that happened. I'm 40. So this thing has been going on for a very long time. It's just so many people it looked like it's just all of a sudden so many people want to move to Ghana, when in actuality, this has been going on for a long time.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, because I feel like with this whole back to Africa thing, it's like people, I don't know, like people want to go, but I feel like they're waiting for somebody else to do it, and then they're waiting for somebody else to say something bad just to deter them from not going. Well, would you consider that person to be serious in the first place?
The truth of the matter is, if somebody's saying something bad about it is going to deter you from going, you don't need to go. Because at the end of the day, when people are coming here from other countries and they know good and well the police killing us on the street, and you should know that you ain't no different from me when you step foot on this land, you can fall victim to that situation just as easy as anybody else. Hell, one of my close friends' brother was just shot day before yesterday by the police in the back. So, but nobody seems to want to take those bad things and not come here. So if you'll take whatever the bad things are you learn about and you hear about in Ghana or in whatever African country, and that'll deter you from going, then don't go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
Looking at what Ghana, or yeah, let's just focus on Ghana. Looking at what Ghana has done for the diaspora, do you think that there's anything that Ghana can improve on, or do you think that there's anything that Ghana is missing in terms of its relationship with the diaspora?
What do you mean what Ghana has done for the diaspora?
Like, okay, so Ghana's asking the diaspora to come home, and it has made the diaspora come home, but then there has been some questions about the diaspora saying things like, how about the land though? How about this though? How about that though? You know?
Well, I think that there's a process to everything. There are, I think most people don't understand how land ownership works in Ghana, for one. Most people don't understand that the government does not own the land there like they do here in America. So it's a totally different type of situation when it comes to land ownership and somebody bequeathing us some land. What many don't know is that there have been chiefs who have given us land. There's, as a matter of fact, there's a chief in it's either the north or the upper west. I can't remember exactly which region it is, but there's a chief up at the top who gave us, who had some land that's designated specifically for us, and all we needed to do was come there and pretty much get it surveyed, get it demarked, and claim it, pretty much. There are those kinds of things that's happening, but this is not something that hasn't happened before either. We've been given land, but it's about what you do with it. And at the end of the day, most of us don't have the money that it takes for development. And so if you the chief and you give me 50 acres of land, you're expecting me to develop this land, because 9 times out of 10, your village is somewhere close by. So you're going to expect me to develop this land, and me developing this land is going to create jobs for your people, right? Well, you done gave my ass, excuse me, I can't cuss on here, can I? You done gave me 50 acres of land or 50,000 acres of land or whatever it is, and now I don't have investors, I don't have the money, I don't have whatever it is that I need to do with this land, and now here it is, years and years and years in the past, and I still haven't done a damn thing. And now y'all want to look at the chief like, well, why you taking the land back? I'm taking the land back because you ain't doing nothing with it. You done had the land for 20 years, and what have you done? Nothing. So I need to get this land to somebody who can develop it. So, I think it's more so people needing to, you got too many people who are watching YouTube videos and hopping up and moving to Ghana with no kind of understanding of nothing. You can't move into a whole nother culture. Yes, we have a lot of similarities and all of that stuff, but this is a totally different country. We don't even have the same kind of governmental setup. Like, it's so much that needs to be learned. And if you can't take the time to go to Ghana, actually stay there for a little while, and be able to just observe, just learn. just learn little cultural things like why you can't hand somebody something with your left hand. Like why, those kind of little, it's little small things that you need to learn that'll help you be able to deal in that society, to help you assimilate better. But you want to jump off the plane straight out the hood or something. I mean, it's not going to work for you. You're not going to do well if you haven't prepared yourself for what that could look like. Because even though people are poor here, being poor here
is a luxury.
It's different.
Okay, it's not a luxury. It's not a luxury, but you're right. It looks different.
It looks very different. And like there are no social programs for you in Ghana. You ain't getting no food stamps in Ghana. You ain't getting no WIC. You ain't getting it's a lot of stuff that you're not gonna be able to get. So you need to be preparing yourself for, if I go to the hospital, I'm gonna have to pay cash. It's not gonna be a lot, but you're gonna have to pay something. I was in the hospital for a whole month when I had my third baby at 37, and that's having to get medicine all the time, and everything you needed was done right there. The doctor write the prescription, and they hand it to my mom, and she had to go to the pharmacy and get everything. When here, you're used to, they give you everything and you pay it on the back end if you ain't got no insurance, if you ever pay it. But it's just so many things that people don't understand about the society. And I think that a lot of the people who are having really bad experiences as they go to Ghana, I believe it's because they haven't prepared themselves to have to integrate into a whole nother society. You can't expect America out of Ghana. It's a developing nation, while Ghana is so much better than it was even in 2011 when I first went. It's still a developing nation. And for you to expect some of the stuff I be seeing on YouTube, girl, I be like, if these people don't get their behind back on the plane and take their butt back to wherever the hell they came from, we do not need that kind of drama. We just don't. We don't need it.
What do you think about people saying that they are? I mean, police brutality is a very good reason to leave whichever country you're leaving. But what do you think about people who literally just say, let me watch. Like people who there's nothing, they're in such a haste to go that they don't really understand what they're walking into, I
akin that to, somebody asked me this question the other day, and I akin it to being in slavery. There were plenty of people who they had been on a plantation all their life, and they decided one night, bump this, I'm out of here. They ran into woods. They didn't know nothing about going in a direction they didn't know nothing about. They only heard about it. But they decided that whatever it was on the other side of this had to be better than what I'm dealing with today.
Yeah.
So I know for me, I feel like many people are taking that stance, like anything got to be better than this. Because people are watching family members die and watching people get murdered on camera. Like they dead ass like killing us on camera, and ain't nobody being held responsible for it. That I don't think most people understand the psychological damage that does to us here. Especially those of us with the history that we have in this country. We have post-traumatic stress and slave syndrome, stress syndrome, whatever you want to call it. If you are in a position where if you just see, I've never been to jail in my life, but just seeing police lights makes me anxious. Just hearing the police sirens gives me anxiety. The peace alone that I feel when I'm in Ghana is enough for me to endure lights out, water issues, whatever the issues I have, it's worth it for me. For other people, it might not be worth it for them. But for me, the peace of mind that I get by not being under this constant state of oppression is worth it for me.
That's amazing. You know what? I've actually never seen it that way. I've never looked at it that way. That could possibly be due to the fact that I'm not in America. I think that's probably why, because I never really understood.
Absolutely.
But
most people don't understand.
Probably the reality.
You couldn't understand it unless you have the history. And most people don't understand how potent it is when you go into we've been dealing with these people for 400 years. I could literally see one of them and almost tell you what they're thinking. And to walk into a situation where all the time you feel like you got to be on guard, you feel like you got to be ready to defend yourself or fight back or whatever, something might pop off all the time. Come on, that is tiring. It is exhausting. That is not living. That is existing. And if just having the ability to live outside of the confines of this oppression I wouldn't, and it don't have to be Africa. It's Black folks moving, Black Americans moving all over the world. I know people who live in Mexico. I know people who moved to Colombia, South America. I know people in China. I actually know a couple of people who moved to China. I know a couple of people who live in Dubai. Like, it's plenty of us moving all over the world. So it's not just a leaving to go to Africa thing. It's more so leaving to get away from this mess thing. And people have been doing it for a very, very long time. If you look at the artists back in the 40s and the 50s, a lot of them would move to Paris and they would move to, all places in Europe. A lot of people, like at one point, Maya Angelou was living in Ghana. A lot of our actors and actresses and activists were living in Ghana. We have a long history of this. I think just now with social media, people see it as something that's like new, and it's not.
I definitely think it's a very serious movement, and it's a very serious thing that people have to look into. However, I do feel like if anyone, for whatever reason, really doesn't like Ghana, there are so many other countries that offer different flavors, different styles, different economic type of opportunities.
Yep. It's so much more to Africa.
Yeah.
Ghana, after living in Guinea for a year and a half, I have a business there, and that was really hard. It really made me really love Ghana even more. I was like, oh yeah, Ghana is it. But it was French speak. A lot of people choose Ghana also because it's English speaking. And in West Africa, of the 16 countries in West Africa, I believe it's 11 of them are French speaking. So it just kind of makes sense for most people. It's a lot of people actually moving to Nigeria. I know three people who just moved to Nigeria not too long ago. So it's not just Ghana. It has to do with your personality, because I do know some people who have been in Ghana, but they left Ghana and went to the Gambia. and they're doing much better in the Gambia than they were in Ghana. They vibing better there. I know people who started off in Ghana and then went to Nigeria, and they're vibing better in Nigeria. I know people who have left Ghana and gone to Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Kenya. Like, Ghana seems to be more like a stepping post. And then people kind of get their footing, and now I'm in Africa. I can do this Africa thing, and now I'm a branch out. It's I think that people should just keep their options open. We have 54 countries. Why? If you don't like Ghana, try something else.
Same here. Even though I do love Ghana. I'm thinking about, I want to visit Sierra Leone for whatever reason. I don't know. It's just
my husband, I haven't been there yet, but my husband has, and he liked it there. And there's some repats there also. There's some in, there's a pretty large group in Senegal, the Gambia. I know a lot of people have been recently going to Tanzania, Ethiopia. Of course, that was one of the original. Ethiopia and Ghana were two of the originals, but people are trying out everywhere. One of my best friends, she loved Rwanda, and is planning on moving to Rwanda at some point. So I think people should just try to really see what worked for you, because Ghana might not be the thing for you. But that's okay. Like, it's okay that if you don't like Ghana might not like you. So,
okay. Last statements from you. Anybody who's thinking about, I guess, repatriating or going to Africa, period, what would you think would be one of the best methods?
Well, the first thing you got to do is visit. I don't think. Granted, some people have the personality to just up and leave and make those moves. I know people who've done it, then been successful. There's one guy who lives in Zambia, I believe. He moved to Africa 11 years ago, and he's never come back to the States, ever, not even for a visit. And there are plenty of Africans who moved from America and have been in Ghana for 30 years, 20 years, and they never left. Jamaicans, everybody. Like, it's plenty of people who do that. But I would suggest people if you're going to go to Ghana, if you want to move any place you want to move, I would say go there with the intentions of actually forget the high life part of it.
Yeah.
You'll get to see that. If you can rent a room in somebody's house, maybe an Airbnb, or maybe you can find somebody, I think you definitely have to build your network also. So start building some relationships with people on the ground, take some visits. The first year, in 2011, I went to Ghana 4 times. And a lot of people will say to me, well, I was going so often that people were saying, you going like you going to Decatur, which I live in Atlanta. So they like, you going like you live in Decatur. And I'm like, no, the thing is, I know that this is something that I want to do eventually. So I need to have a really good grasp on what this is going to look like. And I would go to Ghana and stay. I wouldn't stay in a hotel. I would have my husband to get us, like, his friend's mom had a really big house. So we would stay at her house, or we would stay at another friend's house. And I would stay in different sides of town so I could just get a feel for all of the different spaces. And I also, my husband is one of those people who he has friends on all sides of the spectrum. So we would go and hang out in a Zongo, or go hang out in, Trazaco Valley.
Yeah.
So to get a idea of the different dynamics of Ghana, and then just learning and observing, it's only so much you can learn on YouTube. A lot of people become experts, or they think they're experts because they don't watch 1,000 YouTube videos. But experience is the best teacher, and I would suggest that people do it. I was a single mom before I got married. I had one child, but I would make it my business that this is something that I want to do. So I need to make some sacrifices to do that. So what I did was I made a concerted effort to visit Ghana as often as I possibly could before I moved, and learning how to do just simple stuff. I still don't know how to negotiate well. I'm not a haggler at all. So, I think it's just important that people figure out what works for you. If you're moving from one state to the next state, that's one thing, because it's still America. But if you're going to pick up and move all the way to the other side of the world, you probably need to do a little more than just pack your stuff and go. I think, you gotta get some feet on the ground.
Yeah.
You gotta know what it feel like to be without lights for some hours, maybe a day or two. You gotta figure out what that look like for you. Can you handle that? And it's hot. Are you gonna be able to afford to get a generator so that you could at least have your fan on? Are you gonna be able to, you need to know what it's going to look like for you to be able to be comfortable when it's hard. And I think some of the people who have been recently coming, they didn't prepare themselves for that. To me, it don't even look like they watched anybody on YouTube at all. It's like they just picked up and left. And I'm like, some of the stuff that y'all complaining about, I can promise you, anybody in the repatriation community, or everybody in the repatriation community, because I'm sure there's a whole lot of new pages popping up on Facebook, but there's so many Facebook groups for repatriation now. I'm sure I've seen the conversations there. That there's certain videos that's been hitting the scene of people making all of these crazy allegations or whatever. And it's like, don't sound like you did no planning. Like, where are you paying $2,000 a month for rent? Where?
I would never do that.
I've never paid that. I've paid when we first moved to Ghana, we rented a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom house at McCarthy Hill for 1,000 CDs per month. That was equivalent to, at that time, it was like maybe $300. So when I hear people saying they paying all this money for rent, I'm like, either you don't know anybody, you didn't make any connections on the ground, or you just doing things all willy-nilly, or you lying. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but to make those kind of assertions, no.
All right, y'all. This is a really impromptu live stream, but thank you guys so much for being here. Also, thanks for everybody who's watching on the playback. Again, the channel name is Breaking the Chains Repatriation. I actually do have the link in the chat, so you guys can check that out. To close this, I will just say basically what Bequita said. If you want to go anywhere, especially to Ghana, you have to prepare. One thing I can recommend for anyone who wants to go is reduce your lifestyle over here. You know what I mean? Try to live minimally over here so that when you go over there, it's not such a big shock. And also, number 2, with doing that, you could also save money.
Absolutely.
So if you're serious about going there eventually,
Gotta say,
I don't know where you live, but for instance, why are you paying so much on your car insurance? Why not shred that down? Heck, if you live in a place where you can take the bus, take the bus.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm sorry, I cut you off, but you're absolutely correct. You do need to minimize. If this is something you want to do, you do need to save money. I didn't talk about that part, but you do. You need to save money. And things that we did was like initially I had a car with a car note. We minimized that. I got a car that my husband just bought from the auction, and I haven't had a car note since 2012. And my car insurance is minimal. And it's so many other things like where we could cut corners, we would do that. And because it's important to have money. You can't, while you can find a job, depending on your skills, it may be a little difficult, but it's possible. You still need to have money, because even finding a place, I wouldn't even suggest. I see people looking online or whatever to find a place. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's geared towards people who come in from places and their company is more than likely going to be paying for their stay, and they literally their company can pay $4,000 a month for their rent. But that's not them paying for that usually. So you need to prepare and decide what it is that you can handle. How much can you really handle a month in your expenses? Your lifestyle can be that in Ghana. You can have whatever lifestyle you want in Ghana that you can afford. But don't let these people fool you into thinking you can come to Ghana with $1,000 and you're gonna be living large, because you're not. You're not gonna be living large with just $1,000 in your pocket. That might get you through a month. Anyway, yeah. I'm sorry, I get a little.
It's okay. Good advice. I really like that. So yeah, minimize your lifestyle, save money, connect with people who already live there. Duh, why would you not do that? Have as many contacts as possible, not just contacts that maybe you see on YouTube or Instagram. Like literally have as many contacts as possible. And I think that's all I could. Have an open mind, and also know the why of why you're going there. I think your why is also really important and really will impact you. Like, are you just gonna go there to ball out every day? If you want to do that, that's fine. But just giving you a warning, if you're only going there to ball out, don't complain in 20 years when you're priced out of everything. Okay?
No, not even 20 years. Don't complain in 2 months.
True.
Because if we keep it real, you can literally spend as much money in Ghana in a month as you spend here in the States. You can. Let's just be real. You don't have to.
Yeah.
But you can. But if you go, like you said, with an open mind, and okay, well, it's certain things that I may not be. Like, for instance, I saw a video where there was this thing where somebody was talking about they couldn't get no snacks. That's a lie. There are snacks all over Ghana. The thing is, snacks are more expensive than getting some fresh food. That's it. Like, you have to go into a supermarket or into the mall to get the kind of snacks that you might see here, but they're there. But if that's the reason why if you're going to Ghana for snacks, then stay your ass in America.
All right. Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you. Again, go and check out her channel, especially if you want to know a lot about the real life of Ghana, not just what people are saying, but the real life of Ghana, or possibly any country that you're repatriating to. And guys, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. But we're out. Thank you, and see you.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.